This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
It's Tuesday, August 18, and this is the Barbados Today Afternoon Update. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news this hour, the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union takes issue with the introduction of the Caribbean Vocation Qualifications, or CVQs, program in the new school year. The BSTU charges that the Caribbean Examination Council is introducing the program without the proper input from teachers and unions. President Marianne Redmond contends that, like the contentious marking of the school-based assessment projects, teachers are being asked to oversee programs outside of their contracts.
This too is going to add even greater workload to teachers, especially in the technical and vocational subject areas. They've had how many meetings so far? Only one meeting, yet still this is supposed to start this academic year in September. Only one meeting to apprise teachers of a new program that is to start in September. And a new program involving a lot of work, involving a financial layout in these times of financial constraints, and a new program that will impact heavily on the day-to-day workload of teachers in the system.
The Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences at the University of the West Indies, Cavell Campus, Dr. Justin Robinson, says it is critical for learning institutions and the private sector to have stronger partnerships to be better able to deal with development and management-related issues. He made the comments at the official launch of the strengthening of a partnership between the Cavell School of Business and the private sector this morning.
A partnership that is built on the sharing of money. You have money to share with us, we don't have any to share with you. But also equally important, a sharing of expertise. You have a particular set of expertise, we have a set of expertise, and blending those two expertise are going to be critical if we're going to provide value for money. Because management is important. And I think that's something we often miss, how important management is.
Longtime educator Jeff Broome will be calling it quits in another 9 months. The principal of the Parkinson Memorial Secondary School told the media this morning that he will be retiring from the teaching service come May 1, 2016. In other news of the day, the government is being heavily criticized for its planning of rapidly expanding communities in Barbados. Zeroing in on the Warrens area, President of the Barbados Town and Planning Society, Dr. Yolande Arlene, charges that there was a lack of foresight in the development of the area. Delivering a presentation to mark the Urban Development Commission's 18th anniversary week of celebrations, Dr. Arlene maintained that the area was not planned with pedestrians in mind.
It's unsafe to walk, and it's unsafe to bike or to get to any other house. So the connectivity in terms of Warrens, which has taken off, and as you said, as a boom, I think we could have planned it a little better in terms of making provision for shaded walkways and things like that, because it was a new town more or less. So we could have, if we'd given it more thought of how we could connect it to the residential areas around it, and how to connect the various elements within it a little better, so that it flowed, and it then becomes a nice place with a civic center where you can do your services and you can walk around and move from point to point in a comfortable way. So I think that because Warrens is just oriented towards vehicles and traffic just moving round and round and round and just blocking up everything, it has a challenge. And I believe that the planners would have to think of what type of controls they're going to put on the suburban centers that will still allow Bridgetown to flourish.
A St. Vincent and the Grenadines minister wants the region to invent a device to clean the beaches of sargassum. Addressing a symposium on the menacing weed affecting several Caribbean islands at the University of the West Indies 3Ws Oval yesterday, Minister of State in the Ministry of Works, Julian Francis, says the use of tractors is not the way to go. He suggests that a rake mechanism be used instead.
To take the heavy monsters off the beach. That's not the type of equipment you put on the beach. We just recently bought from through NSG, Lisa Carrillo, a Bajan who is in the heavy equipment, just sold us 2 light front-end loader backhoe. And the blade is not the tool to be used. And I agree with you, we need to use a rake. And we ought to design that rake. You're not going to find a rake that is going to fit our ship. And I'm sure that this stuff could be raked up.
Francis also called for the sargassum to be tackled before reaching the shores.
Particularly with our geography. Maybe Antigua has a similar geography with landlocked harbors. And in some of these areas, we do have tourism development. Unfortunately, the south coast of Barbados doesn't lend to that because it's so wide and so shallow. But there are floating barriers that could be anchored sufficiently offshore and be reaped from behind the barrier rather than allowing it to come to shore. It's pretty expensive. I did some questioning, and 1,000 feet, linear feet, I believe would run me about $80,000 US in St. Vincent to get it there. We're further exploring that.
Long-standing businessman and political activist Trevor Job Clark has been hospitalized after falling ill at home on Sunday. Barbados Today understands that Clark was rushed to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital by ambulance after he was found lying on the floor at his Hines Hill, Cave Hill, St. Michael home. There are reports that in recent times, Clark has been facing some minor health challenges following a vehicular accident earlier this year.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Got it in my hand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Got to understand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Ain't nothing like a core bank spare. None of them others just can't compare. You just got to love that taste. It's the world-class thing this land makes. Whether I'm cruising or at a bar, whether I'm at home, my bank spare is never far. For this blessing, got to give God thanks. My Barbados, my bank.
We pick up with news from our regional neighbors. Investigators in Antigua and Barbuda are trying to find out what caused a small plane to crash land at the Codrington Airport yesterday. All 6 people on board escaped unhurt when the Hummingbird aircraft went down during landing. More in this report from ABS News.
A team from the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority, along with safety and security officers for the VC Bird International, Peter Abraham, visited the crash site in Codrington on Monday. Abraham spoke with ABS News about the circumstances surrounding the crash. He says the ECCAA foreman team, led by Director Donald McFall, is leading an investigation into the cause of the crash. He He says because the aircraft is an American-registered vessel, he expects that the U.S. Federal Aviation Authority will want to play a role in the investigation.
And on the international scene, law enforcement authorities in Bangkok are searching for a key suspect wanted in questioning in connection with yesterday's deadly bomb blast. This after footage from a CCTV camera shows a man wearing a yellow shirt leaving a backpack near the Hindu shrine. At least 20 people died in Monday's blast, and about half of them were foreigners. More than 120 others were injured. And that's the news. For more, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb. Subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media and bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 online TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Do have a good afternoon, and we'll see you later.